Today on Public Eye News, Governor Whitmer declares this week as Free Lunch Week in Michigan. But first, NMU is looking for applicants for a new scholarship.
Tim Knapp will have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Colin Morrison will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Ashlyn Shadig.
And I'm Luke Niddle. This is Public Eye News. Students who attend NMU have the opportunity to receive a full tuition and fee scholarship and up to a $15,000 living stipend for an opportunity to work with the third cohort of the Rural Leadership Fellow Program. Offering primarily project-based learning and economic and community-based projects, the program is mostly aimed towards graduate students, but undergraduates will be selected on a case-by-case basis. NMU has collaborated with Invest UP since 2023, a nonprofit economic development corporation with a primary focus on job prosperity, specifically in the Upper Peninsula. The program is also backed by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and the NMU CSU Institute's Innovation Fund. Also on campus, October 23rd will be the 2025 Indigenous Perspectives Symposium, an all-day gathering for learning about the history of Indigenous culture, food systems, and community health. Featuring keynotes and presentations from food and ecological experts in and around the area, such as Roger Labine and Stephanie Dodge, workshops and panel discussions on the topics of wild rice revitalization and traditional ecological knowledge, and interactive land-based activities that allow participants to exercise traditional Indigenous harvesting practices will highlight the educational opportunities for the event. The event is open to the public and will take place in the Northern Center.
Buses in the state of Michigan are going green. New grants are increasing the number of clean-powered buses to 900. The Clean Bus Energy Grant is currently helping schools add 97 cleaner buses. These include propane and electric buses. It's not just the environment that benefits from this. Diesel fumes can affect the health of children whose lungs aren't fully developed yet. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, or EGLE, Director Phil Russ said, quote, "The commitment by state and federal governments to provide schools with more environmentally friendly buses is good for our children, good for our schools, and good for our communities," end of quote. The final Clean Bus Energy Round is accepting applications until December 18th. The Michigan Department of Lifelong Education Advancement and Potential, or MyLEAP, is now accepting intent to apply forms for the 2025 to 2026 out-of-school time grant program. MyLEAP will give $73 million in grants to programs or organizations that offer care during the summer and before and after school. This covers the care of kids from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. They are also looking for programs that offer learning opportunities. Director of MyLEAP, Dr. Beverly Walker-Grippa, said, quote, "By investing in programs that strengthen academic skills, spark new interests, and connect students with caring adults, we're ensuring Michigan's children and families have the opportunities and resources they need to succeed in the year ahead and beyond," end of quote. Anyone interested can submit a form on their login. Israeli hostages were freed from Hamas captivity yesterday, and Palestinian prisoners were let out of Israeli jails. While leaders must still address the big issues of disarming Hamas and governance of Gaza, President Trump has outlined his vision of immediate next steps. Natalie Brandt has more details from the White House.
With the skies over Gaza City calm Tuesday, bulldozers began clearing mountains of rubble in the war-torn region. The destruction and magnitude of debris is also making it more difficult to recover the bodies of the 28 remaining hostages killed in captivity. So far, just 4 have been returned.
It's obviously even bigger challenge than having, I would say, the people alive being released. That's a massive challenge.
Families say the return of all of the remains is a key element of the ceasefire agreement. Even as all 20 living hostages freed Monday reunite with loved ones. One of them was Omri Moran, now home with his family. CBS Morning spoke to his brother-in-law.
It's definitely the most special moment we'll cherish for the rest of our lives. And now we're focusing on his healing, focusing on our family being complete again.
President Trump, who arrived back to the White House overnight, says he's committed to his 20-point peace plan. He says the next phase will focus on rebuilding Gaza.
Restoring the basics of a good life We're going to have a lot of money coming into Gaza and a lot of rebuilding and building. It's not so much rebuilding, it's really building.
The World Bank and others estimate the price tag could exceed $50 billion.
What is needed in Gaza today is monumental, and every single country around the globe needs to chip in to make it a livable place for its people.
The plan calls for a demilitarized Gaza with regional and international partners helping develop a security force to protect civilians. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with weather and statewide news after this break.
Marlee Matlin was the youngest and only deaf person to win an Oscar for Best Actress, a champion for deaf actors. She now takes you on her life's journey, the lows and the highs. In Marlee Matlin, Not Alone Anymore, on American Masters.
Tuesday night at 9 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Tim Knapp here with your weather report. Taking a look at the roof cam, that library looks almost done, ready to open in January. All right, what are the current conditions? Well, up in Houghton, it's 52 degrees and sunny. Over in Ironwood, it's 50 degrees and sunny. Iron Mountain, 54 and sunny. And down in Menominee, it is 52 degrees and cloudy. Moving across the map now, Sault Ste. Marie, 53 degrees and sunny. Manistee, 57 degrees and sunny. Escanaba, it is partly sunny and 53 degrees. And in our home of Marquette, it is 52 degrees and sunny. Current conditions, temperature 52 as I mentioned, the winds out of the northeast at 8 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure at 30.41 inches and falling. Tonight we are looking at a chance of rain with a low of 45 degrees, winds out of the north at 5 miles an hour, and the moon phase is a waning crescent. And tomorrow it is mostly cloudy with a high of 55 and a low of 45, winds out of the northeast at 5 miles an hour. Looking ahead this weekend, it's going to be rainy, and rainy. Thursday, high of 60 degrees and a low of 44. Friday, a high of 65 and a low of 53. And Saturday, a high of 64 and a low of 51. That's all I have for weather. Now, back to the desk.
Thank you for that weather report, Tim. I very much am not looking forward to those showers later in the week. Going on to some statewide news. October 13th through 17th is Free School Lunch Week in the state of Michigan, signed in by Governor Gretchen Whitmer with her bipartisan budget. Nearly 1.4 million Michiganders enrolled in public schools in the state continue to benefit from free school meals and save families around $1,000 per child. Speaking on how much impact the program provides to families, Governor Whitmer stated, quote, "Instead of worrying about what's for lunch, our kids can focus on learning and making friends," end quote. Along with the free breakfast and lunch program, Governor Whitmer's bipartisan budget includes a per-student funding of over $10,000, a record figure, and an increase of approximately $450 from the academic year of 2024 to 2025. And the Michigan Bureau of Elections has released their audit and recount of the 2024 general elections. The original 44th State Representative District winner was confirmed with a new vote differential of 61 to 79 votes, a typical margin. Computer software assisting in the audit selected 119,567 votes from 166 randomly selected precincts. Both the Democratic and Republican parties gained votes during the recount, with a total difference of 13 added votes between all 8 candidates. The largest margin of difference was independent Joseph Kishore, whose one vote that ended up retracted resulted in a 2.1% difference. All total audits found that clerks across the state of Michigan counted votes with accuracy and integrity during the election. And severe weather slammed much of the country yesterday, with a nor'easter dumping rain on millions in the northeast and parts of California, surprised by early snowfall. Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
In New England, umbrellas were no defense against the wind and lashing rain Monday as the holiday weekend nor'easter barreled into Boston. The storm dumped several inches of rain across the region and led to coastal flooding. New Jersey declared a state of emergency after clocking winds of more than 60 miles per hour.
I got a deck of cards. We're going to play gin rummy and maybe hearts.
Air travel, already disrupted due to the government shutdown, faced more delays and cancellations. And tens of thousands were left without power after toppled trees took down transformers. In New York City, one woman was killed after wind sent a solar panel flying from a carport, striking her. Meanwhile, out west, there's new footage of rescuers lifting a driver from floodwaters over the weekend in Arizona. Their vehicle was swept downstream. Authorities there are still searching for another man believed to have been lost in fast-moving water.
This morning, the Sheriff's Office mobilized a pretty large search and rescue operation.
In California, more storms slammed the Bay Area Monday, dumping rain in San Francisco and Berkeley. While the Sierra Nevadas were surprised by some early season snowfall.
So were you ready for the snow today?
Definitely not. Easy home dressed.
A hit of winter early in the fall as so much of the nation faces weather whiplash. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
We'll be right back with your sports after the break.
In this episode, Deborah Messing and Melanie Linsky uncovered their roots.
This has never been discussed in your family.
No.
Your great-grandfather was using an alias.
Dodgy. I want to know everything about him. They're leaving everything that they've ever known and going to a new country.
Meet your DNA cousin.
Really?
Yes.
What? How surprised were you when this was the outcome?
I couldn't believe it.
Welcome back. This is Colin Morrison with your sports news today, starting with NMU hockey. Freshman goaltender Olivier Auyang-Ashton has earned his first career conference award, CCHA Rookie of the Week, after his stellar performances in his NCAA debut and first career start for the Wildcats. During the two-game away series against number 16 ranked Ohio State, the freshman goaltender made his debut, relieving junior William Graham early in the third period and saved all 8 shots on goal. The next day, he showed his prowess as a starter, saving 45 of 47 shots on goal during the game. Auyang-Ashton's goalkeeping had a save percentage of 96.4%, leading the CCHA that weekend. This weekend, the NMU hockey team will face Colorado College at home, hoping to earn their first win with the help of outstanding freshman goaltender and the outstanding NMU home crowd. Now, on to Wildcat volleyball news, where junior libero Liesel Haugen has been named the GLIAC Defensive Player of the Week for the second straight week. On Thursday, the Wildcat volleyball team traveled to Michigan Tech and were able to leave with the W after 5 sets, and this was in no small part due to Haugen's efforts. She led not only the team, but the entire GLIAC this game, having 38 digs. This is also the second most digs ever performed by a Wildcat, one shy of Mei Rong Lu's during 39 in 1999. Haugen returned from injury on September 26th, and her impact has been incredible, not only snapping a 9-game losing streak, but beginning a 6-game win streak. The Cats will participate in the Midwest Crossover Tournament in Hammond, Indiana this Friday. Now, on to Detroit Tigers news, where I will hopefully be able to provide some positive news. Not to remind the crushed fans, but the Tigers season ended last Friday in Game 5 against the Seattle Mariners, where the Tigers lost 2-3 after 15 innings. In a conference Monday morning, Tigers general manager Scott Harris announced that he extended manager A.J. Hinch. But this is not the only thing announced, as Scott Harris then announced something Tigers fans have been begging for answers on, Tarik Skubal's contract. Harris told reporters that ownership will provide the resources necessary to re-sign star pitcher Tarik Skubal to a long-term deal. He insisted that owner Chris Ilitch will support the organization in keeping the American League Cy Young winning pitcher, even stating, quote, "I have no concerns about that," unquote. That's all I have for sports. Now back to the news desk.
Thank you for that sports report, Colin. Ashlyn, we're getting into the dog days of the semester a little bit here, just about halfway. How are you holding up? You've got midterms coming up.
It's getting pretty stressful, I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, yeah, I've been feeling it. You know, have you been liking your classes so far?
They're okay.
They've been okay. But with that, we're out of time here on Public Eye News Today. I'm Luke Middle.
I'm Ashlyn Shadick.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.